Last week, my daughter called. She had that tone in her voice. It's the tone people use when they're deciding where to put a piece of furniture that doesn't fit the room anymore. She said, "Mum, we need to talk about your living situation." I knew exactly what that meant. She's been circling the idea for months. Assisted living, a facility, a place where I'd be safe. But I'm Eleanor. I'm 83 years old, and before you decide what's best for your aging parents or your own future, you need to hear this. The choices everyone talks about, they aren't the only ones, and sometimes they are the worst ones. After Richard died, I lived alone for the first time in my life. 46 years of marriage, then suddenly just me. At first it was manageable. I told myself the silence was a luxury. I could cook what I wanted, I could sleep when I wanted. But then the world started getting heavier. It starts with the small things. You get winded walking up from the basement. Your hands start to shake when you open a jar of pickles. You walk into a room and the reason why just evaporates. One Tuesday morning, I slipped getting out of the shower. My hand shot out and caught the towel bar. I didn't fall, but I stood there, dripping wet, heart hammering. I thought, what if I hadn't caught it? What if I lay here for days and no one noticed? That fear changes you. It makes you feel fragile. It makes you feel like a problem waiting to happen. So I did what everyone suggests. I called my daughter. I asked if I could stay with her just for a bit. She said yes immediately. She told me I should have asked sooner. The first week was like a Hallmark movie. Family dinners, the grandkids laughing, feeling like I mattered again. But then the reality of a busy American life set back in. My daughter and her husband work 50 hours a week. The grandkids are a whirlwind of soccer and homework. By week 2, I was alone in their house just as much as I'd been alone in mine. Except now, I was a ghost in someone else's space. The friction started small. "Mom, easy on the salt." "Mom, turn down the TV." They weren't being cruel. They were just living, and I was in the way. Then I heard it. I was in the hallway and heard my daughter on the phone. She sounded exhausted. She said, "I know it's the right thing, but honestly, it's a lot. I can't even go to the store without worrying about her." I wasn't supposed to hear that, but I did. And I realized living with family doesn't cure loneliness. Sometimes it makes it worse. You're surrounded by people and you've never felt more invisible. After 3 months, I told her I was going home. I needed my own walls. I needed to stop feeling like a burden. Back home, the relief was short-lived. The stairs were getting steeper. Cooking felt like a marathon. One afternoon, I tried to change a burnt-out light bulb in the kitchen. My hands shook so badly I had to give up. I just stood there in the dark, thinking, this is how it happens. This is how you stop being able to take care of yourself. I looked into professional help. A woman named Patricia started coming a few times a week. She was efficient, but having a stranger in my house felt like a slow invasion. Then the bills arrived. $3,000 a month. My Social Security barely touched it. I watched our life savings, money Richard and I had saved for 40 years, drain away like water. I was paying a ransom just to stay in my own home. When Patricia left for an emergency, I realized I was paying for a service not a connection. Every new caregiver was a new stranger. I was exhausted from explaining my life over and over. Then came the facility. My daughter called it assisted living. I called it a hotel you can never leave. It was clean. It smelled like bleach and industrial lavender. The first few days weren't terrible. I played cards. I ate the Salisbury steak. But by the end of the week, I felt trapped. Breakfast at 7:30. Dinner at 5. Who eats dinner at 5? Apparently people who are waiting to die. I've always been a night owl. I like to read until 1 a.m. But at 9 p.m., the hallway lights would dim. A staff member would knock on my door. "Mrs. Eleanor, it's time for sleep. Safety policy." I'm 83. I've survived recessions and loss. And now a stranger tells me when to turn off my lamp. One night the air was crisp. I wanted to see the stars. I headed for the door. A staff member stopped me. "Outdoor time ended at 7, Mrs. Eleanor. Safety policy." Those 2 words became my prison. I wasn't even sick. I could walk, I could think. But I was living like I'd lost all independence. I left 3 weeks later. I told my daughter I'd rather struggle at home than be safe in a cage. I went back home. I was scared. I had tried everything: family, caregivers, a facility. None of it worked. One afternoon, I was walking to the corner bodega. I passed my neighbor Sarah. She's about 40, a single mom, always looking stressed. She was on her porch, crying into her phone. Her daycare had fallen through again. I didn't think twice. I walked over. I said, "Sarah, I walk past the school every day at 3 anyway. Let me pick up Emma for you." She looked at me like I'd offered her a miracle. "Are you sure, Eleanor?" I couldn't ask. "You're not asking," I said. "I'm offering." That was 6 months ago. Now, every day at 3 p.m., I have a reason to get out of bed. Emma tells me about second-grade drama. We draw pictures. When Sarah gets home, she brings me a plate of dinner. Her husband fixes my leaky faucets. He changed that light bulb I couldn't reach. Sarah helped me set up grocery delivery on my iPad. I didn't pay her thousands of dollars. I paid her in time. She paid me back in dignity. I'd forgotten what it felt like to be useful, and that was the piece I was missing. I didn't need someone to take care of me. I needed to still matter. Here is the truth they don't tell you. You don't have to choose between total independence and a nursing home. There is a space in between. It's called community. Money buys services, but it doesn't buy a reason to live. I spent thousands on care and felt like a ghost. Now I spend nothing and feel alive. I am useful again. Age doesn't make you worthless. It just changes what you have to offer. I have 83 years of stories. I have a steady hand for a child's drawing. I have ears that know how to listen. I'm Eleanor. I'm 83. I live alone, but I am not lonely. I am living on my own terms. And if I fall tomorrow, at least I'll fall in a house where I am known, loved, and needed. I'm grateful I didn't give up after the traditional options failed me. I'm grateful I kept looking for a life that actually fit. I want to ask you something. Have you ever felt like you were becoming invisible to the people around you? Or maybe you're worried about a parent who is struggling alone. I'd love to hear your story in the comments. We're all just figuring this out as we go. If this resonated with you, please consider subscribing to the channel. It helps me keep sharing these lessons with you. Thank you for sitting with me today, for listening to an old woman figure out how to age without disappearing. Take care of yourself, however that looks for you. I'll be here next time, still finding my way.